This video is coming out before I've even watched Season 19, Episode 1, which premieres tonight on CBC and CBC Gem in Canada. I'm super excited, and as always, I'll be reviewing every episode, breaking down all the drama, emotion, and character moments for you. But today, I want to take a step back and just talk about Heartland in general, before diving into the new season. I want to share my thoughts on the state of the show, what I'm hoping for in Season 19, and the future of Heartland as a series. And yes, I'll touch on some potential concerns in the fandom, but we'll get to that. Before we get started, please make sure to leave a like if you enjoy this video, and subscribe to Heartland today if you haven't already. That way you won't miss any reviews, updates, or behind-the-scenes looks at Heartland in the future. I try my best to keep you updated with accurate, up-to-date info on release dates, cast news, and all things Heartland. So, let's talk Season 19. I'm going in mostly blind. I haven't watched the trailer because I wanted the season to feel fresh and new. That said, I've read a few episode synopses, so I have a general idea of what's coming, and I know some of the casting news. One thing I'm particularly thrilled about is Alicia Newton returning as Georgie. I cannot wait to see her back at Heartland. She's phenomenal in everything she does, and no matter what, she'll always be Georgie Fleming Morris to me. Her presence adds so much depth and energy to the show, and it's going to be exciting to see how her character continues to grow in Season 19. I did catch one clip from the trailer on Instagram. It was a scene where Nathan talks to Caleb about living up to Ty's legacy. Nathan worries that he'll never replace Ty for Amy, which, of course, he won't. But that dynamic is really interesting to explore, and I'm excited to see it unfold this season. Now, let's talk about Amy and Nathan. I am genuinely excited for this storyline. Amber Marshall's performance as Amy has been phenomenal, especially since Season 14. Amy might not be my personal favorite character, I'll admit. Lou will always hold that spot for me because Michelle Morgan just nails her portrayal. But Amber has absolutely crushed it with Amy's emotional journey. Since Ty's passing in Season 14, Amber Marshall has made Amy's grief believable, raw, and deeply moving. Every scene she's in carries weight, and it's impossible not to be emotionally invested. When it comes to Amy and Nathan's relationship, I'm really looking forward to seeing how it develops in Season 19. Now, here's the tricky part. A lot of the Heartland fandom struggles with the idea of Amy moving on. I've seen this firsthand in comments, social media discussions, and fan debates. Some people feel that Amy's happiness should only ever revolve around Ty. And honestly, that mindset can be a problem. Over the last few months, I've been watching Grey's Anatomy, and it actually gave me some perspective. Meredith and Derek were kind of like Heartland's Amy and Ty. When Derek died on Grey's Anatomy, fans were generally okay with Meredith moving forward and finding love again. In the Heartland fandom, though, the reaction to Amy and Nathan is often much more rigid. It's like some fans refuse to accept that Amy could ever be happy again, and that's honestly a bit damaging for the show. If you go into Season 19 with the mindset of "I hate Amy and Nathan's" relationship, you're likely going to be frustrated. This is a new chapter for Amy, and it's a natural progression for her character. Moving on after loss isn't unnatural, it's human, and the writers have crafted this storyline thoughtfully. I'll be honest, I struggled a bit with the fandom's reaction in Season 18. I love the performances of Michelle Morgan, Amber Marshall, Chris Potter, Sean Johnston, and everyone else. They are phenomenal. But seeing so many fans upset about Amy moving on really affected my enjoyment of the season. That's one reason I wanted to approach Season 19 with fresh eyes, without too many preconceived notions. From what I've seen and heard, this season is shaping up to be emotional, dramatic, and suspenseful. I'm excited to see how these characters evolve, how relationships develop, and what new challenges the Heartland family will face. So here's my advice. If you're hesitant about Amy and Nathan's relationship, just give it a chance. Trust the writers. They are creative, thoughtful, and incredibly invested in telling authentic stories. Heartland has captivated audiences not just in Canada, but worldwide, and this next chapter could be just as impactful. That's all I have for today. I just wanted to share my thoughts before season 19 kicks off, discuss the current state of Heartland, and look ahead at the show's future. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, drop a comment, and subscribe to Heartland today. Now, diving a bit deeper into season 19, I want to talk about the dynamic between Amy and Nathan. As I mentioned, I'm really excited to see this storyline unfold. Amber Marshall continues to deliver a performance that is heartfelt, nuanced, and deeply authentic. Amy's grief over Ty, her journey of healing, and now her tentative steps toward love again. Every element is portrayed with care. It's clear the writers have invested a lot in this chapter of her story. That said, it's impossible to ignore the fandom's reaction to Amy moving on. A portion of the Heartland community seems firmly stuck in the mindset that Amy's happiness is only valid when it's tied to Ty. And honestly, that can make watching the show less enjoyable for some viewers. I understand that attachment. Ty was iconic, and his relationship with Amy was the heart of Heartland. But life moves forward, and so must the story. Over the past few months, I've been reflecting on this by watching Grey's Anatomy. Meredith and Derek were, in many ways, Heartland's Amy and Ty. When Derek died, Meredith eventually moved forward, and most fans accepted her next chapters of life and love. Compare that to Heartland, and it's fascinating to see the stark difference in reactions. There's less openness in the Heartland fandom toward Amy and Nathan, which, if not approached carefully, could impact the show's reception and even its longevity. This brings me to an important point. The future of Heartland depends not only on the storytelling, but on the community's willingness to embrace change. If viewers enter season 19 determined to reject Amy and Nathan's relationship, it could limit the audience's ability to enjoy the narrative, which might affect viewership and ratings. But if fans approach it with an open mind, there's a real opportunity to engage with some of Heartland's most emotionally rich storylines yet. Speaking of storylines, I've only seen a few spoilers about season 19, including episode synopses and casting news. Alicia Newton returning as Georgie is a major highlight for me. Her energy, charm, and growth as a character are always such a joy to watch. Seeing her interact with Amy, Nathan, and the rest of the family will add layers of depth and continuity, reminding us of the history of Heartland while also exploring new arcs. One of the most intriguing aspects of season 19, based on the clips I've seen, is Nathan's conversation with Caleb about living up to Ty's legacy. Nathan worries he'll never replace Ty in Amy's life, and that's perfectly valid. Ty was irreplaceable. But watching Nathan navigate this tension, balancing respect for the past with the potential for a future with Amy, will be fascinating. It's these emotional complexities that make Heartland more than just a ranch show. It's about real relationships, healing, and growth. As for Amy and Nathan themselves, I genuinely think they're a strong match, not as a replacement for the past, but as a continuation of Amy's journey. Amber Marshall and Wardle have great chemistry, and the writing ensures that their relationship feels authentic and earned. For viewers willing to accept this new chapter, there's a lot of heart, hope, and meaningful storytelling to look forward to. Of course, this doesn't erase the past. Ty's legacy remains central to Amy's character and the series as a whole. But Heartland is evolving, and Amy's journey reflects that evolution. Moving on after loss is human, natural, and relatable, and the writers are exploring that beautifully. I will admit, I've had my frustrations with season 18. I loved the acting. Michelle Morgan, Amber Marshall, Chris Potter, Sean Johnston, and the rest of the cast were phenomenal. But seeing the fan community resist Amy moving on was discouraging. It took some of the joy out of the storytelling for me. That's one of the reasons I'm approaching season 19 with fresh eyes and an open heart. From what I can tell, season 19 promises high drama, emotional intensity, and suspenseful storytelling. I can't wait to see how Amy's relationship with Nathan develops, how Lindy's character continues to grow, and how familiar faces like Georgie contribute to the season. It feels like this will be one of Heartland's most compelling seasons yet, provided viewers stay open to new directions. So, Heartlanders, my advice going into season 19 is simple. Give it a chance. Trust the writers. Trust the characters. And allow Amy's journey to unfold naturally. Heartland has captivated audiences for years because it tells stories that are both heartwarming and real. This next chapter has the potential to continue that legacy for years to come. Now, looking ahead, one of the biggest things I want to emphasize is the importance of perspective in the fandom. Heartland has always been a show that thrives because viewers care deeply about the characters, but sometimes that passion can create resistance to change. Amy moving forward with Nathan is one of those moments. For some fans, it's difficult to see her happiness outside of Ty, but this is a natural progression for her character. It's important to remember that Amy and Ty's relationship built the foundation of the show. It gave Heartland its heart, its soul, and its emotional depth. Amber Marshall and Graham Wardle brought that story to life in a way that was unforgettable. Ty will always be a vital part of Heartland's legacy, and nothing can erase that. But Amy's life doesn't stop there, and neither does the show. This season, we'll see Amy navigating this new chapter while honoring her past. She's balancing grief, love, and the responsibilities of being a mother, and Nathan's presence adds another layer to that journey. It's realistic, nuanced, and deeply human, and for the fans willing to embrace it, it's going to be incredibly rewarding to watch. I also want to highlight the community aspect of Heartland. Beyond Amy and Nathan, this season promises to explore relationships with familiar faces like Georgie, Lindy, Jack, Lou, and others. These interactions continue to show why Heartland is about more than just horses and ranch life. It's about family, friendship, resilience, and the bonds that hold us together. Every character adds texture and depth, and the writers are clearly continuing to honor those connections while introducing new emotional stakes. Another aspect I'm really excited about is the emotional intensity and drama that Season 19 promises. From wildfires to family conflicts, there's a lot on the horizon. And while the stakes are high, Heartland always balances suspense with heart. The characters' responses, their growth, and their relationships make every crisis meaningful. It's this balance that has kept the show engaging for so many seasons and why it continues to resonate with audiences worldwide. For those who may be hesitant about Amy and Nathan, I encourage you to approach the season with an open mind. This is a story about love, healing, and the next chapter, not a replacement of the past. Trust the writers and trust the characters. Heartland has consistently shown that even in the face of heartbreak, loss, and change, there's hope, resilience, and joy to be found, finally. As we get ready for Season 19, Episode 1, I'm thrilled to experience it alongside all of you. I'll be reviewing each episode, breaking down the emotional moments, and discussing how the storylines develop. I can't wait to share my thoughts, highlight standout performances, and talk about everything that makes Heartland special. Its characters, its storytelling, and its heart. So, Heartlanders, that's all for today's preseason discussion. I wanted to share my thoughts on Amy and Nathan, the state of the Heartland community, and what I'm looking forward to in Season 19. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, drop a comment, and subscribe to Heartland today so you don't miss any episode reviews or updates. I'm Amelia, and thank you for joining me here on Heartland today. Let's step into Season 19 with excitement, open hearts, and a love for the stories that continue to make Heartland such a cherished series. I'll see you after Episode 1 airs. Until then, keep believing in family, love, and the enduring bonds that make Heartland so special.